What's going on, everyone? Everywhere that you are, whether it's morning, midday, afternoon, or night, we are back with another live. And just like that, like you're seeing from the title of today's topic, this one's going to be a very interesting one. And with this being said, this is going to crush a lot of feelings. And to be honest with you, good, because that's what I'm here for, to bring you these facts while others can't take it and can't say it. I am here bringing you these updates and letting you know what the business is and what's going on with this showbiz. As always, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. Yes, you already know it. The shills about to shill like crazy this upcoming week. Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up right now. I'm gonna say it just how it is. All the James Gunn fans and the fake DC fans are having a meltdown right now, and I love it. I love it. This is beautiful, and we're going to talk about all this because this right here is fantastic. See what I did? And this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very nice. And I'm not surprised, like I've been predicting and telling y'all for a while. Remember, I've been calling it before the movie even got, like to where we are right now, that Jurassic World Rebirth was going to stomp and dominate the box office. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we're going to talk about some numbers, we're going to talk about some facts, we're going to talk about what's still going on. Because remember, today is Sunday. This is the fourth day that the movie has been out, and the numbers are insane. They are really, really insane. And it's nice. It's really nice to see all of this that's going on with everything. Let's get our minds ready. Yes, yes, indeed, for sure. You already know. You're going to see a lot of gymnastics this week. They're already look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. They're doing like they're having meltdowns in the comments. If you're seeing, like, people are making videos and tagging me because they're having meltdowns saying how bad Jurassic World is flopping. Jokes on them, because it's not flopping. It's making so much money. It's crazy. It's nuts. Like, who would have thought in opening weekend? And the weekend is not even over because we still have the rest of the day today. So these numbers are growing, and they're gonna keep on growing up. It's gonna be nuts. I'm telling you. The month of Smurftastic is here. Yep, exactly. What's up? What's up? You truly predicted that Jurassic World Rebirth stomped. Yep, I told y'all this is what I was saying. I know quality when I see it. And with what Universal is doing right now, look, we're going to talk about a few things because this has everybody talking right now on the internet. And this is something very important of where and what the franchise is becoming and where it's heading. There's a lot of confusion out there right now, and people and fans, especially the ones that don't understand and see it from, like, I want to say, like, from, a director's point of view. If you were making, a movie or whatever it is, I'm gonna break it down and show y'all and share with y'all where this franchise is heading, because there's a lot of people out there right now and they're like, whoa, that ending, I don't know what to think of it. It's clear. We'll talk about all that right now. So, look, first things first. Look, the movie came out, what, like on Thursday or something like that, with the actual sales. Remember, the pre-sale tickets sold out like crazy. People were buying these tickets they couldn't get, and until today, Sunday, people are still having a hard time trying to get their tickets for this movie. And like I said, what's going on, John? I see you. Appreciate y'all for watching and stuff. Right now, this Jurassic World Rebirth. All right. First things first, let's look at something, because before I start talking about this, I know there's some people out there that are saying, oh, but this and but that. I'm gonna tell you right now, about of Jurassic World. All right, so let's see. All right, apparently, all right, this is roughly, all right, 180 millions is what the budget for Jurassic World Rebirth was. All right, rounding, probably with marketing, it's probably gonna add a little bit more, but right now in the range of 100 million. All right, as of today, we are talking July 6th, the fourth day that this movie is already out right now in theaters. They're already at $318 million globally. All right, think about that. They've already made their budget. They've already made their budget. So now everything that's coming in is all profit. And of course, it's got to cover marketing and stuff like that. But $318 million. Think about that. If they keep it up, which I think they will, next week when Superman comes out, that's not going to do anything to Jurassic World. I'm telling you right now, it's just not. I told y'all, Jurassic World is an established IP. This is the seventh film. All right. This is starting a new franchise. I'm getting chills telling you about this. We're going into the third trilogy of everything that has to do with Jurassic Park slash World. And I'm loving it. I am loving it. All right. L- let's break this down and look at this real quick. Right. Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, they made money for their time. Then, when we got Jurassic World, when the franchise moved away from Jurassic Park and entered Jurassic World, where we are right now, the first three movies, they already crossed and they made $1 billion. So you're talking about three movies that made $1 billion. And even though Fallen Kingdom wasn't all that, which was the second Jurassic World, it still made money at the box office. Three movies from Jurassic World, they all banked. All right. So what are you thinking, that this one isn't going to make $1 billion? Hell yeah, it's going to make $1 billion easily, easily, because people know and they love it. They're waiting and they want something new, and that's exactly what they're delivering in this new movie. All right. First things when I move into and talk about the next thing is, hear me out. To all the fans and everybody that did not see the Godzilla 2014, you are the ones that are lost right now. And if you saw Godzilla 2014 and you know what that franchise has become to where it's at right now, that's exactly what they're doing right now. Universal is building their own monster verse. All right. Let's talk about Jurassic Rebirth. All right. And I'm going to talk about spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, then I'm telling you straight up, don't even listen. But I'm telling you right now, if you've already seen the movie, you already know that the D Rex is straight up a monster. He's a mutant. We got that mutant Dawn, that fine flying pterodactyl mixed with a raptor. That's another mutant. So this takes place in another island. This has nothing to do with the first Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, the last ones. These monsters are straight up setting up the next phase in what Universal is building up with this universe. Because if you look at it, there's hints just like we saw in Godzilla 2014. And this movie doesn't have no end credits. But I'm going to tell you straight up, we don't need end credits. We're spoiled. I'm going to be honest with you. The mainstream audience today and everywhere is spoiled because people are staying with the Marvel mentality. This is how toxic Marvel has made the customers, the fans, everywhere. Because every time we see a movie, we expect that there's an end credit scene. That's what Marvel has done to all of this industry. Not every movie needs an end credit scene. But if you look at this movie, at the end, the D Rex survives. He's not dead. They didn't kill him off. And rumor has it that the original plans was to have him face off against the T-Rex, and the T-Rex was going to take out the D-Rex. And I'm glad that they didn't do that. The studio got in the way and said, nope, we're not going to do that. So the director was like, you know what? The studio knows best. I'm going to do what the studio wants. And good, I'm glad. You know why? For once, I'm defending the studio. Because if they would have brought in that scene and they would have had the D-Rex go out by the T-Rex, I would have been like, hell no. How do you bring this new character and you kill him off? This is what I'm telling y'all, my friends. They're building something big. The same way we saw in 2014 Godzilla, that they were setting up at the end credit scene, and we saw the writing on the wall of, I think it was what it was with they were trying to connect it with the next movie of Godzilla. But when you see Skull Island at the end credits, you see Godzilla in that wall that they like, whatever, the ancient wall. So it's setting you up and telling you, yo, eventually Godzilla's gonna face King Kong. And what did we get? We finally got Godzilla versus Kong. And look at where this movie's going into. I'm getting chills telling y'all that. We're gonna go into the new film that they're setting up now. And it's gonna be what Empire, New Empire, something like that. So look at how big the franchise has grown throughout the years by them setting up their monster universe. And that's exactly what Universal is doing now. But this is where the big but comes into. They're doing it with dinosaurs and they're doing it within their own IP. Let's be real. Jurassic Park, it's done in the sense of, if you want Jurassic Park and you want that nostalgia, go watch the first three films. That's it. And go read the book. That's it. If you want Jurassic Park, go to that. If you want and you're enjoying what Jurassic World is doing and what it's become, then you're welcome, because this is where we're at right now. This is going to be the next trilogy that they're setting up, and it's going to focus on mutants and everything that has to do all of these hybrids and everything. And we're seeing it because we already got introduced to two new mutants. Let's be real. When Dr. Wu created dinosaurs in the first Jurassic Park, he even said it. Nothing in Jurassic Park is organic. Everything has just been pretty much modified. Everything has been created through science. And this is where we are right now. Exactly. Science completely has created these monstrosity of dinosaurs. And I love it. I love it. People are loving it. Fans everywhere are enjoying it. The fans that don't understand, don't comprehend that are the fans that don't move away from Jurassic Park and are still with the mentality of Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park died at Fallen Kingdom. When the volcano blew up and the Brachiosaurus died, it's sad, but it is what it is. That's what the studio wanted. They got away from Jurassic Park. They try to capitalize and get fans for Jurassic. What is it? Dominion. That movie was terrible, but that franchise is done in the sense that now they're getting away from dinosaurs. They're moving into mutants. And I love that. I really, really love that. A lot of people didn't like Fallen Kingdom just because, remember, with the girl Macy, she was supposed to be kind of, they were hinting that she's kind of mixed with dinosaur and human. I want to see that, honestly. I want to see that. Because as crazy as it sounds, that's what Jurassic Park has always been, messing around and screwing around with, frog DNA and who knows what the hell they're doing to create these monsters. And we've seen it, what it became in the first Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park. I'm talking about Jurassic World when we got the Indominus Rex. All right. And then what we got in the second film of Jurassic World, the Indoraptor. All right. What they did was completely chaotic. And what we got with, I think it was Camp Cretaceous with that other dinosaur, Scorpius Rex or something like that, another hybrid. That's what I'm telling you. What they're doing with hybrids, and now they're moving and quote unquote evolving into this whole monstrosity of with mutants and stuff. I love that, and this is what a lot of fans are going out to see it. Sure, you're gonna have some fans that are not enjoying it and not liking it, but for the most part, I'm telling you straight up, fans everywhere are loving it. And this is why the topic of today comes down to, it says the shills are crying, and they are. All of these paid shills that are on WB's payroll, on Marvel's payroll, are right now trying to create all this fake hype about, oh, Superman and Fantastic Four. Nobody cares. Jurassic World is already way ahead of y'all. I'm telling you straight up. And that's what they don't like. They can't accept defeat. And the defeat is that Jurassic World Rebirth is stomping the numbers at the box office. I'm telling you right now, if they keep this up in 1 month by making 300 million a weekend, I'm telling you right now, in 1 month they can make $1 billion already, and this movie is going to make $1 billion. You will see. You know what's funny? That I have trolls coming into my page, tagging me from their own videos, creating all these little bullshit videos of theirs and tagging me like I care. I don't care. Stop tagging me. And they know who they are. Stop tagging me. And I'm telling you straight up, you're just bitter and salty knowing that Jurassic World has already proved everyone wrong. It's making big numbers at the box office, and it's going to continue to keep on growing. With that to the side, looking at what Jurassic World is doing right now, all right? If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. A new island, a new cast. I told you, Scarlett did an amazing job. That dude, the other two, they did a fantastic job. Everything was good. And some might say, oh, it wasn't enough dinosaurs. For what we got, it's building up to what's coming in the next movie. This is what I'm saying. I'm glad that they took away that final scene where the Rex was supposed to take out the D Rex, because they're setting up something bigger. In the next movie, where can the franchise go? Simple. Continue with what they've already built. You already have the D Rex that's out there. Could there be another monster out there that we don't know? I think that there is. Besides these two, I think there's much more. This island is huge. They showed the laboratory. You see raptors with two heads, a triceratops with two heads. You see all these monstrosities. That's what I want to see. That's what they need to build off of. Stick to this same island, and you can make the next two films off of this. And not only that, when you're seeing throughout the film, you have our characters that we're following along and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, it was interesting and kind of like horror in a way when you see that that helicopter was there before them. And then it makes you wonder, hold on, what is the government hiding from everybody that can't go to this island? what went down that they had to send a team of military experts and that helicopter crashed trying to get to where they were. And we saw how the D-Rex got that chopper and completely blew it up. That was like, what? This thing is unstoppable. It has to have a weak spot. Eventually, we're probably going to find out. But what they're doing with this, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, we don't need to be like completely out of control, but it's already out of control. And that's what Jurassic World is all about. And I love it. As a fan, I love that. I'm enjoying that. And that's the beautiful part about what this franchise is becoming. Some people are saying, oh, it's gotten out of control like the Fast Saga. Good. That's exactly what it is. It's supposed to be. Because in the end, it's trying to tell you, just like Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park, that life will find a way. Now, if you toy around and you play around with science and genetics and, let's crossbreed these animals and let's see what the hell happens, that's the chaos and the effect that you get. Literally, you get chaos effect. That's why if you go back to the Kenner line from Jurassic Park back in the 90s, they actually had a line just like this. They had, like the dinosaurs that they were like mutants and they were like mixed with other species. You have a raptor mixed with a freaking T-Rex. Isn't that what we saw in the first Jurassic World with the Indominus Rex? It had T-Rex and it had raptor. So why are people tripping out about the D-Rex? You shouldn't. This is what I like where the franchise is heading. It's telling you, like it even says it in the movie, people are tired of dinosaurs. Yes, in that universe, they're already tired. But what they're doing now with all these monstrosities and everything that's getting out of control, yo, this I'm loving, seeing when you saw the Mutandon, the flying one, when that kid was in the forest that he was going to take a piss, and you see the raptor. I'm sure all of y'all that were watching that were like, yes, I hope that raptor attacks him and kills that kid, because that's exactly what it was luring to. It was showing you that that's what that dinosaur was going to do when that kid was in the jungle. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You see the big dinosaur just lands on him, on the raptor, and it takes him away. Who would have thought? That's a raptor. That's telling you the level of what these monsters and these mutants are about. And I like that because it shows you. You imagine what they could do when they start creating more and more monsters with these dinosaurs is just terror on its own. And I love it. I love it. I love what they're doing. And sure, some people are going to be like, oh, it started off slow. I told y'all the first 30 minutes was going to be about slow. But then after that, when they get on the boat, it's all to the end good action. And it's fun. It's entertaining. It's an adventure. Now, when you're seeing what Universal is doing with these, characters and what it is with their universe, it's pretty much they're telling you, hey, we're setting up something big within our own universe with these dinosaurs, because these dinosaurs are no longer what they are. These are completely genetic modified, whatever it is, and this is what they're becoming. Another thing too that it leaves you is what happens with the briefcase that with the 3 vials of blood that they took from each species of dinosaurs. Where's that going to end up in the next movie? See what I'm saying? The same way how we thought about with the first Jurassic Park. This is something that they could change and they could start capitalizing. Okay, you got the briefcase and you have the 3 specimens. What's going to happen in the next movie? They need to touch that. They need to talk about that. That needs to be the center of attention in the next movie moving forward. Because the same way when we saw Dennis Nedry steal the embryos from Jurassic Park when he was working inside of the facility, when he was trying to go to the dock, what happens? He got attacked by the Dilophosaurus. And of course, he ate him. The specimen fell and we never found it until we saw like in the show, I think it was Camp Cretaceous, but that was kind of pointless. Let's be real. That was kind of pointless. That was just for the hell of it. What they need to do in the next one is, all right, you got these specimens. They're fresh. What are you going to do with them? And that's what they need to pick up on the next film, along with we have to revisit the island again. Show us a different point of view of the island. Those Spinosaurus, there were 4 of them. Where are they? They're limited, but where are they on the jungle? Where are they? That's what we need to know. The team that was sent there before this team came on board, what happened to them? How did they go out? Why did they go out? Why did they get, stuck in those vines? What was the mission? That's what they need to explain and build off of. Everything is literally there. It's not hard to build the second film of this new franchise. And I love what they're heading with, They're building that the D-Rex is this big threat. And he is, or she is, whatever the hell it is. It's a threat. That's all that matters, you know? And you can clearly see the T-Rex that's in there. Of course, you know, it's mutated and stuff like that, and it's suffering, you know. And I want to see what and how powerful that D-Rex is. Can they have another something similar to it that they could face it off and fight it? Do it. That's what I say. Do it. Focus on those, you know, creatures, all those animals and whatever it is, and just do it. The same way how you have, you know, Kong versus Godzilla. Look at what that movie and that franchise has become. You know, it's gone so mainstream. Hey, Jurassic World is no longer Jurassic Park. And I get some fans are gonna be like, "Oh, but I prefer Jurassic Park." Jurassic Park is over. We're now in Jurassic World. These monsters are really roaming everywhere. You got them anywhere and everywhere, and we're seeing it because this movie shows you. Now, what they need to do is just stick to what we're seeing with this film, you know, and do some more crossbreeds, whatever the hell you want to do with these mutants, and just have fun. That's all it is. What I loved about this movie is, like I told y'all, there was no message, no political anything. There was nothing. It was just good, solid entertainment, and people were enjoying it. And that's the reason why these shows are having a meltdown right now. They're crying and complaining because they can't see that it's winning. They're like, how? How is it so successful? Good, because they're catering to the fans. They're catering to the audience. Not everybody's going to accept it. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everyone's going to enjoy it. But these numbers don't lie. That shows you that people are entertained. They're loving it. People are watching it. They're going to rewatch it. And again, the numbers don't lie. For them to be at 318 million on the fourth day, and the fourth day is not even over. I'm telling you straight up, they're going to make more money than where they are right now. This movie is going to pass the $1 billion mark. I'm telling y'all. And you have all these James Gunn fans coming out now trying to distract everyone, you know, trying to create all these you know, fake ads and advertisement like we've been seeing with that kid that's dressed up as Superman, you know, talking to James Gunn and trying to have a moment where it's going to be like, oh, nobody cares. We know that those are extras. They're all paid, and this is what they're doing. They're just trying to get the attention because everybody's attention is right now on Jurassic World. When you go to Walmart, when you go to Target, when you go to stores, all of the merchandise in the stores that I've been to, all of it has been sold out. Everything is selling out. All this merchandise from Jurassic World is selling out. Meanwhile, Superman, everything is going on clearance. It's not moving and it's overstock. And I get it. They're bitter. They're crying. They're coping. They can't accept that Jurassic World is crushing the box office. And it's good. It's good for Universal to be doing this. I am happy. I am really happy as a fan. And some people look, let me point this out real quick. I know somebody recently just went to one of my comments and told me that because, you know, like the success of Jurassic World, now all of a sudden I'm an overnight fan, right? You must be new because if you go back to my channel to the beginning when I started with toys, that's exactly what I was talking about. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World toys. Go see my views and you'll see that I've been an all-time fan. I've always been a fan of this brand. I've always loved Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. This is why I'm excited for what they're going to build next. And rumor has it that they're already working on doing a sequel to Jurassic World Rebirth. And they need to do that quick. Honestly, they can't sit back. Universal cannot sit back and wait and say, hey, we're going to wait another 5 years. No, you need to capitalize and bring that out within the next 2 years or less. It could be done. It could be done. If you did this, the next one can be brought out ASAP. If we're in 25 right now, let's just say by like sometime early 27, you can do it. It needs to be done. Don't delay it. Just put it out and just make it happen. But most of all, keep it how you're keeping it right now. Bravo to Universal because they are they, they are reaping the reward right now, and it's beautiful to see that because as fans, we're all right now united and we're coming together and enjoying this movie. Honestly, it's just good. The music was good, the characters, the cast, everything that we got was good, and I love with what and how they're setting up to the next movie. You don't need to go all out in the first movie with the D Rex and take him out. No, think of this. That D Rex walked back into the jungle, so it's still out there roaming as we speak. All right, let's just picture ourselves inside the world of Jurassic World, and we're on that island, right? You're escaping it with, with the teammates and stuff like that. But in your head, think about it. Two things. You got the vials, mission accomplished. But look back at the island. Sure, some people went out, it happens. That's the mission. But that dinosaur's still out there. That mutant is still out there. What if that mutant comes to the city? I'm just speculating. What if that mutant, you know, what if there's so many questions that come from that, knowing that thing that was created in a lab is out there roaming? What about the other two flying dinosaurs? Yes, one got locked under the ground and stuff like that, but they're both out there still. So it's like, no, my bad. One of them did get taken out. I forgot when they were through the tunnel, but one of them is still alive. They locked the gates. Let's just speculate and say that somebody after this team arrived to this island and they just happened to open that gate. So now that dinosaur that was caught up in those gates, he's still alive. Make him fly and go somewhere else. There's so many things that you could build and connect from what's already there. And that's what I'm excited for. As a fan, this is going to be nice. This is going to be completely nice. Yep, I see what you're saying. The next Jurassic trilogy is going to be like Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes movie. Yep, and that's where I think they're heading. They're doing something different, right? And that's what I love. Let's accept it. Jurassic Park was nice for its time. It had its run. They decided to end it at Fallen Kingdom, and now we're in Jurassic World. Anything is possible in Jurassic World, and I love it. I actually love that. As a fan, I want more of that. Honestly, it's wild, but at the same time, it's completely insane to see that. It's only yeah. It's not even in the week. We're only 4 days in. See what I'm saying? Remember, the movie officially came out on Thursday at midnight. So you got Friday, Saturday, and today's Sunday. They are making money, and they're gonna keep on making money. And I'm telling you straight up, well deserved to the studio because they deserve this. Honestly, so many things are coming from this. Honestly, it's very intelligent. Yeah, that D-Rex. It's like it's scary on its own. It's just scary, because with the way that it attacked, it's not really attacking, and that's another thing too. I want to talk about this real quick. All right, let's focus on the D-Rex. All right, it's a monster, but let's not forget what's under there. It's a mutated T-Rex. So it's still an animal. It has feelings. It's a creature. It's a living animal that unfortunately, it became a test subject, and it's the D-Rex now. But seeing what this animal is all about, right? Seeing this beast monstrosity, whatever you want to call it, seeing what it's doing in the movie, it's not a normal dinosaur that it's going after, people and stuff like that, just like because for the hell of it, like a sport. It's literally defending itself. One, that thing is scared. It's who knows what the hell it was mixed with to become what it is, but whatever it is, it doesn't know how to handle the situation and the environment. So it's like what anyone would do, what any animal would do, try to defend itself. And that's what it's doing in this movie. This creature is not out there trying to get these people. He's just defending itself. And most of all, you have to remember what lions and all these animals do is they're territorial. So you're literally going into the territory of the D-Rex. Now this D-Rex is gonna do what it has to defend itself. And unfortunately, it eats that guy, the one with the briefcase. That was pretty brutal. When I saw it, I was like, wow, like they didn't hold back. That's what I'm saying. This movie could have been a rated R, and I would have loved it. For it to be a PG-13, they pushed a strong PG-13, but that was enjoyable. It was enjoyable to see that. So it's like knowing that this dinosaur is out there still on this island along with the other one. Could there be more? I think that there is. I think that there is. We've only seen a little piece, a glimpse of this island, this new island. What's on the other side? What's really on the other side? And I know that if they keep this up, I'm telling you right now, they have a huge universe that they could build off with what they're doing right now and just focus on the mutants. This is why when we saw Dominion, it felt weird. I was like, you've already made two films, Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, and then the third one, you don't put no hybrids. That's what Jurassic World is about. It's all about hybrids. Now This one, it's all about mutants. So it's like a hybrid mutant. I love it. I love it. I love it. Take all my money because I want to see more of it. And if the studio continues this, I'm telling you right now, we're in for a nice, new, and different type of franchise. Now, do I see them doing that? It's a 50-50. They can probably do it, but if the studio bends their knee, this could become another situation like what we saw with Batman versus Superman. Because if you have these critics coming out crying, complaining, all these shows writing all these negative reviews, if the studio bends the knee, then they're probably gonna go and re-edit and change everything. I say screw the media and just go with what you've already built because it's already out. You're focused on mutants. That's the next franchise. It's going to be all about mutants that are just, dinosaurs. But I love it. I love it. They have to keep it up. Who cares what Rotten Tomatoes says? The numbers at the box office are not lying. Like I tell y'all, the numbers don't lie. That means that people are watching it regardless. Whether curiosity or because they're fans, people are loving it. And the numbers don't lie because the box office keeps on growing. By the second day, they had just crossed what, like 100 million. The later that night, that was probably like yesterday, Saturday, something like that. It passed 150 million, and you guys saw that I put the post and things when it was 100 million, and then now it's already past 300 million. There's no stopping. There's no stopping Universal, and there's monstrosity that they're doing with Jurassic World, and I'm here for it. I love it. My wallet is fully open, and I'm gonna keep on supporting it. I'm gonna keep on watching it, and I tell each and every one of you, go watch it. Even if you're curious to go see it, go watch it. Go watch it. It's a very good movie, you know. And this is another thing too that I want to say that a lot of people, let's be real, including me, we're spoiled because this is how much influence Marvel has in the entertainment business. Because people sit around after the credits and they're waiting for an end credit scene. We're programmed like zombies. You know why? Because that's what Marvel did with the whole MCU. And not every movie needs an end credit scene. After I saw this movie, Rebirth, at the end, I was like, you know what? It doesn't even need to set up anything. It's already telling you that it's setting up something. Once you see that D Rex walk away, turn around, that final look that he looks at the camera, and he just walks into the jungle like saying, "I'll see you again," and he just stomps back into the jungle. I was like, they're setting something up just like Kong faced off Godzilla. I'm like, this is it. This is the moment for Universal to have their monster verse, but with dinosaurs. If they don't capitalize on this right now, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be such a missed opportunity. I love what they're doing, honestly. I straight up love it. I love this new route that they're going. The moment we saw in the trailers that they were introducing mutants and this was going to go a different route, not your average dinosaurs, I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's something different. It's something unique. I don't want to see no more Titans going at it. We already have Godzilla versus Kong. I want to see something different. And this right here is what Universal's doing different. They're bringing in these monsters, but they're all mutants. We've never seen this before. That's the beauty part of it. And it doesn't need a crossover. It just needs what it's doing right now, good, solid entertainment. And that's exactly what this movie gives you. This movie gives you from beginning to end nonstop action, adventure. It literally feels like you're on a journey with this movie. And I love that. When they were up there with that, with what it was, that dinosaur, I can't pronounce it, the Quetzalcoatlus, whatever. When it was in the nest, and you see the background, and you see the environment, you see the stones, you could tell that it's ancient. It's influenced by Mayans and Aztecs. It has that whole style, and that whole in the Amazon, and I love that. That's what Jurassic Park has always been about. That's why with this movie, when you're seeing it, it literally feels like you're in that scene. You see the waterfalls, you see the jungles, you see the forest, you see these dinosaurs. You don't know where they're gonna come out, and these people are just trying to survive, doing the mission, and trying to accomplish their goal. And in the end, we get the survivors that survive, and we get to see that famous river scene that was supposed to be in the first movie, and it was good. I liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed this movie. Besides, like I said, the first 30 minutes after the intro, the movie that is boring and they're talking, but they're just introducing you. They're giving you quick highlights. We don't need details. I don't need to go back in the next movie and know the whole history of what's her name, Zoe or whatever her name was, Scarlet. I don't need to go and see that she was a mercenary on this mission, like if she's Black Widow with the Avengers. No, I don't need to see that. It's already known to me that she's a mercenary. That's it. I don't need anything else explained. She's a mercenary. She knows this dude. They go way back. They spoke about it. They had their moment. Boom. We don't have to go back now like Marvel, and we don't have to go back like DC and relive the moment and see, oh, this is how they met and this is how it went down. I don't care about that. That's all fluff to me. I just want to see in the next movie the same cast, the same, you know, the same thing that we're seeing with this new movie. I want to see that carried to the next one in the next film and build off of it. Let's revisit the island. We have to go back to this island. There's something important. I have a feeling that there's something much more important that they didn't even talk about or mention in this island. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that island. And we need to go back and explore it again. You know, send the same people. Hell, send them with the new team. Whatever it is, just do something and build off of that. Because I know the audiences right now, yo, what's gonna happen in the next movie? For sure, we can see that it's setting up that we're gonna see that eventually the D-Rex is gonna face something. We don't know what, but is there something bigger than the D-Rex? There could be. I have a feeling that there could be. Could the D-Rex encounter something else, or can they send scientists to experiment on the D-Rex and it goes wrong, and now the D-Rex all of a sudden just combines and it mixes with a new species, becoming a even more bigger threat? It could be. I just gave you an idea. Build off of that. That's what you could do. See what I'm saying? How crazy and out of control that becomes? Chaos theories. That's what it all falls under. Chaos theory. Who knows what the hell's going to come from it? But in the end, you could build off so much and make so much in the sense, all right, well, we thought the D Rex was going to be, like bad on its own. Now, imagine this happens. See what I'm saying? The ideas are there. You want to use them, go for it. I don't care. That's what I want to see in the next movie. And that's what they need to do, honestly. I get it that there's some people that didn't like it, they weren't interesting, but it is what it is. It was a fun movie. It's a fun movie, and that's all I cared about. The water dinosaurs were really cool. Yeah, those Spinosaurus, they were nuts. And I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's not the same one from the third movie," but it's okay. This is a different species of it. It's the same, but it's a different species. And that's understandable. Yeah, Gun Superman next week is gonna flop on its own. People are tired of reboots. Yep, they really are. And talking about this whole thing with Superman, I mean, they are just desperate right now, just trying to make it like everybody's excited for it. But again, the theaters and the movie tickets for Superman, the pre-sales, they're not selling out. Those theaters are barely full. They're barely moving, and it is what it is. They're just trying to convince people, but people are not excited for that. Honestly, people are excited for what we're seeing right now with Jurassic World. It's crazy. Yeah, that's exactly what this movie is about. Scientists playing God. It's alive. Yep, Frankenstein. And that's the honestly, I love that. I really love that because it shows you that as humans, we shouldn't be messing around with everything. We sometimes feel that we have the right to do what we want because, oh, technology and science and this and that. No, some things just shouldn't be messed around with. And that's exactly what this movie shows you by seeing what we get with those two mutants. And these mutants are just they're not bad. They're just defending themselves like any animal would or like any person would do. They're just trying to protect themselves and, whatever harm's way. And they have to do what's necessary. And that's what exactly they're doing in this movie. When the helicopter's flying down, that they're about to save, the group of people and stuff like that. And you see the D-Rex just grab it with that arm. I was like, oh, hell, man. And the movie, too, has vibes of aliens. That's what I love, too. When they're in that tunnel, you see the light going through those bars and, like these cages and stuff like that. It straight up gives you vibes of aliens. That mutant coming after you, just like an alien. And then when you see the D-Rex out there, it's like Predator. It's hunting. It's not like Predator, but it's hunting, because it's like every move that it makes, it's being careful on what it does. And I like that. I really, really like that. I really enjoyed that. And at the end, like I said, it leaves it not on a cliffhanger. At least if you look at it from a point of view where it's like, okay, I see what they're going with and I see what they're setting up. You have to look at it from that point of view. It's not just like, oh, that's it. It just ended like that. Come on. You have to change that mentality. That's what Marvel has done to us because we're already used to, oh, the superhero's going to come in and it's going to save the day and this is going to happen. The usual stuff. Things are going down. All of a sudden, some superhero comes in, saves the day, and boom, end of the movie. No, I like this because it shows you, hey, that villain, that monster, it's still alive. It's not out. What's going to happen with it? Where is it going to go? Because that thing still has to eat. What's the diet? Does it eat fish? Does it eat other dinosaurs? What does it eat? What does it consume to keep that big body alive? See what I'm saying? These are the things that I think about, and you have to think about it. Does it hunt other Spinosauruses? Does it hunt other big dinosaurs? Or is it just good with like whatever and stuff like that? See what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself these questions. These are the things that I think about because it's like, all right, that D-Rex was created in a lab, a failed experiment, something like Resident Evil, and this is what comes about it. It's like who knows what they were mixing it with, but hell, that's what we have. And it's out there. That's the answer. It's out there. You know, and it's just like we saw in Batman versus Superman when the judge lady was saying about Superman, and she was like, but we have a Superman. Like he's out there. He's alive. He's literally we have a Superman among our world. That's the same thing with this movie. You have in that universe, literally put yourself in that universe, in that island, and you're seeing the reports of, hey, this is coming out and stuff like that. Yo, that thing is out there. Like it can go anywhere. It's roaming out there. It's not like we saw in the first Jurassic World that they put a little what is it, the chip to follow where it was in the cage and stuff. No, this thing is out there. You don't even know where it could come out. It could come out from the jungle. It could come out in the water. We don't know. We don't know about it. That's what they need to build and explain more in the next movie. They need to focus on it. And I'm gonna just put y'all. Let me just bring y'all so you can see what I would do if I was doing the next film. In the next film, I would start it off like this, very simple. I'm gonna give you a little glimpse of what's in my mind right now. Camera starts off in black. It shows you nighttime. You're hearing the trees. You're hearing stomps as the dinosaur is walking, and it's just like growling and roaring and stuff like that. And like we see, all of a sudden the camera just pans. You see a footstep. It stomps on the ground with the water and makes the mud, the typical Jurassic Park thing. And then you just see the ground, with the mud and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you see a close up of the eye, and the eye just blinks. It looks around, and then it does the roar, boom, introducing you again to the D-Rex, and then it's showing you the D-Rex now in its hunter, you know, predator style mode, that it's hunting other dinosaurs. And then all of a sudden, does it have heat vision? We don't know. What do something different. And all of a sudden this D-Rex is looking right across it, another big dinosaur. And all of a sudden, it's hungry. So it needs to eat. It goes and attacks it. It gets into a fight with it. Could it be a Spinosaurus? Could it be the JP3 Spinosaurus? Hell yeah, I would do that. I would throw the JP3 Spinosaurus right there and have them go at it. Like we saw in Jurassic Park 3 when the Spino versus the T-Rex. Yo, this would be a perfect time to bring in the OG Spinosaurus. How it got there? Hey, let's not forget. Remember at Fallen Kingdom when they were transporting dinosaurs and the helicopters were taking them, boats and ships? What if they brought it there? And for some time it's been there. Who knows? Probably it took place after Camp Cretaceous. Who knows? Anything is possible. And have them both of them face off. Leave it to where they didn't take each other out, and then bring that back towards the end, where it could be one big epic battle, where you're gonna have the Spinosaurus versus the D-Rex while it's setting something up even bigger. Because you can also bring in the Giga from Fallen Kingdom. See what I'm saying? There's so many possibilities. What if they took the Giga and they started messing around with it and they started doing testing and all that stuff, and now the Giga from Dominion now becomes like the D-Rex, and have them fight off? Have them going off, like going at it. Telling y'all, there's so many things that could be done with this franchise now, and where things are going, honestly. And that's the good thing. That's literally the good thing right now. And I'm excited. I'm excited. There's so many people that are like, they're just supporting this movie, and it's good to see it. This is why I said it from the beginning. I was like, this movie is going to make money at the box office, and that's exactly what they're doing. And it's good. It's good for the studio. It's good for us, the fans. And what they're setting up for the next one, I'm all here for it. I just hope they don't take long and they bring it out ASAP, because we need that. We really, really need, that when it comes to it and stuff like that. All right, so now let's kind of change the topic, but let's talk about, DC and where they're at and what's going on, and this mess of them. Next week we already know that Super Flop is around the corner. They're not selling tickets. The few little bit that they sold is not enough. They're desperate. They're rushing it. They're trying to get people to go see it out there. They're spending so much money on the marketing. This movie is straight up going to be worse than Joker 2. And it's going to tank worse than Joker 2 and The Flash combined. Some people are even already pointing that out. And they're like, look, I'm seeing the same copy and paste. It's supposed to be better than The Dark Knight. It's not. And what did I say when I was talking about Superman early in my early videos a while ago? That I was like, this is going to be the final nail in the coffin. And this is what the articles are reporting. Variety put up an article, and then they went back and changed it because apparently they said something before the embargo that's lifted, before the 8th or something, and they had to go back and fix it. And even Variety, along with all these mainstream, companies, in the industry, they even said it. They're saying that the review is terrible and it's the final nail in the grave for the superhero genre. I've been telling y'all, this Superman, and remember, James Gunn said it himself, that everything at DC, when it comes to the movies and stuff, is right now on the shoulders of James Gunn with Superman. So literally, everything, the weight of the whole company, the studio, the stocks, everything is right now on James Gunn's shoulders with Superman and this movie. It's not moving, the stocks don't go up, and then when they close, they're most in the negative than what they are in the red. And every time the stocks go up a little bit, they go right back down. With James Gunn, WB had not once made over $15 a share. In the 2 or 3 years that he's been there, nothing at WB has made that, those numbers. The only time that it did go up was recently with the announcement that Zack Snyder is back and he'll be doing that 300 prequel. That's the only time recently in those 2 years that you've seen that the stocks went up for the company. When the stocks are down, that's bad. And another thing too, when people are like, "Oh, well, stocks don't do nothing to the movies," yes, it does. The stocks is what controls this whole company. When the stocks of a company are down, then it's telling you that the company is going to sell or they're on the brink of collapsing. And we've been seeing this not only with DC, the same thing we've been seeing with the Transformers brand. And you've seen that I've talked about that a lot. And recently, we already know in the announcement of Michael Bay returning and that they're working on 5 live action films for Transformers. After 3, without Michael Bay, we know that it's been bad for the company. How come all of a sudden, since that announcement, the stocks for Hasbro are starting to go up? They're starting to go up. Hasbro recently announced that they were going to sell the rights, and they have the rights now until 2029. So they're trying to push everything that they can before they lose, their own rights to their own IP. So before that happens, what are they going to do? Go back to the drawing board. It didn't work with 3 different directors, so we got to bring in Michael Bay. The same thing now with DC. Fans are right now saying, a little bit of fans are saying the following. They're like, well, if Superman flops, it doesn't mean you're gonna get the Snyderverse restored because everything's gonna go down, so there won't be money to make for the Snyderverse. Ha! Let me prove you wrong. When the Snyderverse, all right, when the Snyder Cut was announced and released, the stocks went up. Since then, the stocks have gone down because after we got the Snyder Cut, everybody was watching it. It was so viewed that the servers at HBO Max crashed. And I get it, it was the first time. that they're having their servers and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. They crashed because everybody was trying to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. And everybody everywhere were curious about it. You even had the shills that were like, "Oh, it's never gonna happen." Then they came out after the Snyder Cut was released, and they admitted it, and they said, "Yes, it's a good movie. It should have been released." You see, it was an R-rated movie. The studio should have just gone with it and continued with it, and instead they wanted to get away. They brought in the Hamadaverse. We already saw how that didn't work. They went into what James Gunn is doing. We see that it's not working. This is the start of a new reboot, and it's not working. Think about that. The start of a reboot, and it's not working. Peacemaker didn't get the people that they want to watch, and then you have the CEO of HBO Max coming out and saying, yeah, that they made fake numbers for people to watch. So what do you think, that they're not gonna do the same thing for the Suicide Squad when it came out, and with Peacemaker and with Creature Commandos? It's already been proven. It's all been lies. It's been fake. How come none of the servers crashed when James Gunn's The Suicide Squad came out? That movie tanked at the box office. It did bad both ways, on streaming, and it did bad also at the box office. And don't come here and tell me, oh, well, everybody watched it on streaming. No, because now you have the CEO of HBO Max admitting that they had bots and they created fake accounts. When Snyder's Justice League came out on HBO Max, there was no bots and there was nothing. It was official, it was organic, and it was people, good people and bad people in the sense of movie watchers and moviegoers that were curious, because you had all these shows that were saying that we would never get the Snyder Cut, and those were the first ones lined up trying to watch the Snyder Cut. And guess what? The servers crashed. And till this day, we still don't have an official release of WB saying, hey, these are the numbers. This is the streaming numbers. But how come after Godzilla versus Kong came out, they were able to have all those numbers ready to go? What are they hiding? They're trying to hide the truth. That's exactly what it is. And I'm tired of hearing the same thing of these James Gunn shills that are constantly crying and complaining and saying that when Superman makes $1 billion, look, Superman is not going to make $1 billion. Jurassic World Rebirth is going to make $1 billion. And once it crushes like it's doing right now, crushing, stomping, and dominating the box office, Superman next week has no chance. Let me repeat that. Next week, when Superman comes out, it's going to tank at the box office. So when the movie does tank, what's the studio gonna do? You think they're gonna just sit there with their arms crossed and say, you know what? It tanked. All right, but let's continue it? No. They're gonna be like, we need to move fast, because if not, our asses are gonna get sold and we're gonna be stuck without a job. So what are they gonna have to do? Wake up. They're gonna have to restore the Snyderverse, because that's their final option before they go up for sale. If they don't restore the Snyderverse, then WB is gonna have to go up for sale. It's not gonna go up for sale now. After it flops and the studio refuses to restore the Snyderverse, that's when they're gonna want to go up for sale, because they're gonna see that nobody's buying and supporting anything they're putting out. Nothing with James Gunn is selling. It's not making them money. It's costing them money. Accept the reality, you James Gunn cultists. The fact is that Zack is back already for the 300 prequel, and he's going to be back just like that for when the Snyderverse gets restored. Next week, you're going to start to see, as a matter of fact, not next week, starting tomorrow, we're going to go harder than ever. And we're going to show you that we've always been the majority. We've always been here. This is why the Hamadaverse tanked. This is why Joker 2 flopped. And this is why now James Gunn with his Superman is going to tank. When you have Variety coming out and saying what I've already predicted long time ago, that this is the final nail in the coffin for DC and their company, this is it. Accept it. Your ticket sales didn't sell. Your merchandise is going on clearance a month before the movie releases. That tells you everything. People don't want this reboot. People still want Zack Snyder. People still want to see the fight between Darkseid. People still want to see Ben Affleck's Batman versus Deathstroke. People still want to see the Ayer cut. People still want Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. We still want Wonder Woman 3. We still want what was promised to us. That's what we're after. And when we get it, then we will stop. But until then, we will stop at nothing. And the numbers don't lie. Because come that day, before, we are going to have another good old fashioned restore the Snyderverse and everything that has to do with these hashtags. Because in the end, we will get it. And you know it. The same way that you doubters and you non believers said that we would never get the Snyder Cut. Guess what? We're going to get the Snyderverse restored. And I get it. You must be hurt. You must be in pain. You must be tossing and turning of in that salt, knowing that I am right. Because the same way you said we would never get the Snyder Cut, we're going to get the Snyderverse restored. I remember that. I remember when everybody was making fun of us, saying we would never get it. And what do we have now? That's right. On physical and digital, we have Zack Snyder's Justice League. That was a global phenomenon. And just like that, a global phenomenon of Jurassic World Rebirth. That tells you what the fans want and where the money is at. When you give fans quality, you're going to gain the support from your fans, customers, and consumers. Until you don't do that, you're going to keep on being in the negative. You're going to be down the pipe, and it's going to keep on clogging it like you're seeing right now. Nothing with James Gunn is working, and it will never work. In the end, James Gunn is going to have to go back with his head down back to Marvel. Because remember, Marvel sent him over here. This is why they're trying to do what they're doing to DC. And in the end, always remember, my friends, always remember in the end, justice always wins. And with that, I want to say thank y'all for watching, for tuning in, for all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all for everything, your love, your support, everything. Even if you don't agree with me, I still appreciate you for watching. As always, y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend. What's left of it, go watch Jurassic World Rebirth, and we will stop at nothing. Because once Superman tanks this next week, we already know and get ready because the return of the Snyderverse is right around the corner. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Y'all stay safe. I appreciate y'all for watching, and until next time, peace.